It's time you transition to barefoot. You might recognize some of these guys like LeBron James, Usain Bolt, Shaquille O'Neal, and they have one thing in common. Their feet are all borked. Now, how do we go from feet like perfectly made as a baby into something like this? It's totally unnatural. Well, let's just investigate this. Now look at these photos for contrast here. Do you know something? Maybe that their feet are actually in pretty damn good shape. Creds do where creds do. You know, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, these guys are extreme athletes pushing the limits. But aren't these guys too? Bebe Bielka, world-renowned marathon runner who changed the scene. He was running the London Marathon completely barefoot and won.
Bebe Bielka. He ran barefooted in the 1960 Olympics. He crosses the finish still running effortlessly.
Now, there's a lot of people who are extreme athletes and do exceptionally well. Mixed martial artists compete pretty much exclusively barefoot. Some of these top stars, like, I don't know, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, old Ronaldo, Samuel Eto'o, Pele, these guys grew up playing without shoes at all. They didn't even have shoes. They somehow became some of the world's greatest goal scorers, athletes, runners, sprinters. Where did this all go wrong? When did this change? Well, a little bit goes back down to fashion. Now, at some point in time, we decided pointy shoes is really cool. We can look back to the Chinese, and they had this thing called foot tying, where they literally broke and warped the feet of young girls to match into these, what they call lotus shoes for fashion, for style, completely ruining the person's life in terms of mobility aspect. Now, the equestrian world, in the equestrian world, you know, where it made sense that you need a narrow shoe to fit in the stirrup very easily. Horseback riding was, you know, a high-class thing for rich people, and people wanted to fit in, so we all started mimicking that. Then you fast forward to the Western world in the 1920s and the 1940s and so on and so forth. We even had square-toed shoes, which our feet are definitely not square. SpongeBob, even SpongeBob doesn't have square feet, and he's square. The Western world adored this pointy shoes fashion in this whole new realm. And of course, Nike jumped to the ability to have star athletes like Michael Jordan. None of these shoes are shaped for feet. They're shaped for fashion. And we all love the fashion scene. We all know they're really good, right? It's been nothing but thousands and millions of problems for millions of people. So it's time that you take your life and sovereignty back. For me, this is a highly sensitive topic because I grew up playing in the professional sports circuit, but through a myriad of really severe injuries, my career was cut short. A huge amount of that is due to my form, my posture, my stride, my heel striking, so on and so forth. And this kind of cut my career short. And to be honest, I think I could have gone a lot further had I not been ceased early. I spent thousands of dollars in orthotics to try and fix myself, but the real solution was with not me, but the shoes, which caused me to be wrong. A bunch of years ago, I transitioned to barefoot to try and manage my scoliosis, my spine injury, my knee injuries, everything. And I've had outstanding success, which is why I say you gotta get on this as soon as possible, because now the science, the information is really coming out into the mainstream. But fashion aside, there's some pretty darn fashionable modern barefoot shoes which don't look like creepy five-finger things. No offense if everyone five-finger wears, I love them, but they are kind of creepy still, you know what I mean? Because freaking hands on your feet double up like that. And so no matter if you're a recreational athlete or someone in the professional circuit, I think this change is instrumental. I'm sick of big shoe taking over the world, man. I will say, shoes can increase performance. If you're a sprinter, if you're doing these extremely high output things, yeah, I will say shoes definitely help me out. However, there's a myriad of barefoot shoes which are absolutely incredible for training, for going up mountains, for sprinting, for running. So the excuse isn't really there, and your feet will toughen up regardless if you're wearing shoes or not. So here's a bunch of resources. Born to Run are phenomenal. I've linked in the description a bunch of studies that you can read. I've even conducted my own study on athletes who have made the transition to barefoot. I highly recommend reading through that and reading the stories of people. I have a full series on how to start barefoot running and movement, including beginner's exercises on how to get started, you know, helping your hips, your knees, your ankles, your feet, getting everything back into shape and health, because the most valuable thing aside from time is our own health. If you're sick, mentally, physically, life is a lot harder. Also, if you like this, please support just a little bit with a little cyclomen and subscribe. Help a little channel grow, because I'm just a little channel trying to grow. You know what I mean? Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you have an internally happy day and satisfied, and I hope I helped you out a little bit, because I really want to make this change in the world, because it changed my world and I wish I changed it earlier. I think that's enough shooting. Let's eat some cheese today.